I'm just going to feed my clasp right on one of my wires and go ahead and center that wire up with the clasp on there, right there. And now I'm going to put my strands back together and let's feed a crimp on. Just going to go ahead and crimp that, and then you could always, use the magical crimper, your own crimps. Also, you can put a crimp cover on here if you'd like. So I'm just going to give that a squeeze and do my tug test. Perfect. And so I just have my clasp on there now. Now, keeping my wires together, what I'm going to do is I am going to take and feed on one of these really cute white sparkly spacers. And so that is what I now have. And now I am going to separate my strands, and I'm going to put on these little guys, these little 2x3s. I put one on each strand, so that's why I've included 4 for you guys. So if you do a similar technique to this, similarly, as I just mentioned in our split necklace technique, you will be able to make your bracelet just like this, doing your split, but having those smaller beads to get us started at the edge there. So now that is what I have. Okay. And so that's how I've got myself started. Okay. And so now we can just do really any pattern. So let me do something different than what I've done over here. Let me get my jump rings and that out of the way. We'll make sure we keep that cute little guy on camera. He's so cute. Oh my goodness, I cannot. Okay. So let's see. Let's do something a little bit different than what I did over here. Like over here, what you can see is what I did is I put like the blue on one side, and then I put 3 of the blue on the other. And then I put only the green on the other side, except for just the 2 green on the edges. So that's kind of how I designed that one. So let's come up with something a little bit different. Okay, so let's see. What should we do? I love designing on the fly too, by the way, guys. I've been saying that so much lately. I'm so sorry if I'm being repetitive, but it's true. Okay, so let's do this. Let's go. I do like the kind of, the obvious asymmetricalness look of that. So I'm kind of going to keep in theme with that, but I'm going to do it a little bit. I'll string it in a little bit of a different pattern. So now what I think I'm going to do is we'll do the white with the blue, because I did the purple with the blue on this one, and then the white with the green over here. So let's do the actual opposite. So now we'll do the white with the blue. So let's give it a shot and see what we come up with here. And then I'm going to put my strands together, and we'll put that little white sparkly spacer on there to pull those guys together. And so that's a totally different pattern than that one. And then we're keeping our strands together. Let's feed the crimp on. And so I've still got some stuff left over here. Okay, we'll grab the other side of our clasp, pull them over here, and get both strands fed through. And then again, guys, similarly to the split necklace, we're going to end up getting rid of one of these wires. So we have our clasp on here, and what we're going to do is just pick one of your wires, doesn't matter which one, and we will loop it around the clasp through the crimp and our first bead. And we'll pull that tail. We just want to be mindful with that crimp next to that bead. I don't think he's going to disappear. I hope not. And so we're going to pull both. And we got to get those together there. And let's get that crimped off. Yeah, and you can use, like I said, you guys can use crimp covers, but so we also just checked that the 16 inches worth of tiger tail is plenty for this project. We were able to do what we needed to do. And so now we have a little bit of a different pattern. And I even made this one a little bit shorter. We've got a couple beads left over, but At any rate, so this was the first one we made. It's so cute, you guys. I hope you guys enjoy. And there's that one. So cute. Isn't that precious? Love this color palette. Okay.